President Ramaphosa actually alluded to that in one of his priorities, that we need to harness our critical, or rather critical minerals. What Africa, or even South Africa for that matter, usually do in these platforms is that they use the minerals which we know aren't really available or aren't in abundance in the global north as a bargaining tool to actually get what we want. For instance, even in the meeting that took place at the White House, one of the things that President Ramaphosa alluded to was that we have critical minerals in South Africa. And also, just to go off track, even Minister Gwede Mandashe, at the time the tensions were simmering, he actually said that the US can do whatever it wants, but we'll keep our minerals. So you can actually see how much minerals we have in abundance and how much we actually use our minerals as a bargaining tool on a global platform. However, I do think that Africa has, for the longest of times, been exploited. We do know that there is some form of, for lack of a better term, revolution that some people have said in the Sahel region, where we see Niger actually taking control of its minerals, Burkina Faso taking control of its minerals, even Namibia now, whereby President Nandi is actually trying to take control of the mineral complex, even Botswana for that matter. So there's this revolution that we are seeing, whereby Africa is now trying or attempting to actually regain its sovereignty across all spectrums, economically as well as politically. But it shouldn't go unsaid that a lot of the Western countries, or global, or like global North countries, are actually using the tension between the US and South Africa as an opportunity to come and gratify their interests, because we know that the EU, for instance, in the EU South Africa summit earlier on in the year, committed to investing an amount of about 4.7 billion euros towards infrastructure development and pharmaceuticals. And this happened in the wake of the US withdrawing its PEPFAR funding, which is related to pharmaceuticals. So you can already see that a lot of these Western countries or Western powers have a lot of interests. And for as long as that is the case, even though that may happen, but it shouldn't lead to an erosion of South Africa's sovereignty.